Hey guys, it's Dick here. I know I haven't really done any like video blogs or whatever for a while, but this is a video that was rather serious. Or this subject I'm going to talk about, I just found out about it today, and it kind of got my attention. Actually, it really did get my attention, and it kind of scared me at first, and I'll tell you why at first. Whatever. But you guys might have heard of, or at least if you live in the United States, you might have heard of what's called the SOPA, Stop Online Piracy Act. Okay, now, because I'm lazy, I'm just going to read it off of Wikipedia, so you can get it in full detail. I'm not going to read the whole entire article, but I'm just going to read, like, the introductory part, or whatever you want to call it. The Stop Online Piracy Act, SOPA, also known as H.R. 3261, is a bill that was introduced in the United States House of Representatives on October 26, 2011 by Representative Lamar Smith, RTX, and with a bipartisan group of 12 initial co-sponsors. The bill expands the ability of U.S. law enforcement and copyright holders to fight online trafficking in copyrighted intellectual property and counterfeit goods. Now, before the House Judiciary Committee, it builds on the similar Pro-IP Act of 2008 and the corresponding Senate bill, the Protect IP Act. The bill would allow for the U.S. Department of Justice as well as copyright holders to seek court orders against websites accused of enabling or facilitating copyright infringement. Depending on who requests the court orders, the actions could include barring online advertising networks and payment facilitators such as PayPal from doing business with the infringing website, barring search engines from linking to such sites, and requiring internet service providers to block access to such sites. The bill would make unauthorized streaming of copyrighted content a felony. The bill also gives immunity to internet services that voluntarily take action against websites dedicated to infringement, while making liable for damages for any copyright holder who knowingly misrepresents that a website is dedicated to infringement. Proponents of the bill say it protects the intellectual property market and corresponding industry, jobs, and revenue, and is necessary to bolster enforcement of copyright laws, especially against foreign websites. Opponents say it infringes on First Amendment rights, is internet censorship, that it will cripple the internet and will threaten whistleblowing and other free speech. The House Judiciary Committee held hearings on SOPA on November 16th and December 15th, 2011. A vote is presently scheduled for Wednesday, December 21st. So, in short, if you didn't get any of that, because I kind of didn't, I'll be honest, the vocabulary, let's just say. Anyways, they're gonna, so from what I could tell, they're gonna block websites that have, like music videos or, soundtracks or whatever. So, what's my opinion on this? I support it. Just as much as I support, I don't know. But no, I was just joking though. I don't support this. I'm fucking against this as much as you can. Okay, let me say this right now. I'm not afraid to say this, and I'm sure a lot of other American people will believe me when I say this. The U.S. is getting more fucked up, okay? Now, as a Christian, I know what's to come in the future. Now, I know some people, a lot of my viewers are probably atheists or don't believe in God or the Bible or whatever, so I'm not going to go into that manner, but I'm just saying, as far as Christianity goes, I know what's to come in the future, okay? But anyways, so, my opinion on this is that this is probably the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Now, they're gonna sue, so if the bill passed, that means I would sue YouTube because people have music videos and stuff on there. Well, do they know how many people are on YouTube? Like, there's literally millions and probably even billions of people that use YouTube and upload music videos and stuff. YouTube can't stop all that. They try to stop a lot of it, yeah, but they can't stop all of it. So, because it's pretty much impossible for them to stop all of it, they're going to sue, the government's going to sue YouTube. Fuck that. Now, as fucked up as YouTube is right now with their new channel layouts and shit, still, I do like YouTube somewhat, otherwise I wouldn't be using it at all. But the fact that they're going to sue somebody because they can't, it's impossible to do a certain thing, that's just fucking stupid. That'd be like if your teacher, it's the first day of school, and you have like a history class, your teacher makes you do a test. Like, instantly. Like, if you don't know any of the answers because you guys didn't even get to learn it. Right when you get into class, you can't see the test. And that's it. I mean, you're not going to know that. It's impossible because you didn't, you didn't get taught any of that shit. And I'm talking about like shit that you didn't know before, as far as history goes. It's not like stuff you learned like the year before or whatever. I mean, like, this is like whole new shit, I mean, so I think this is like one of the stupidest things ever. And there was, Bill 978, although I don't think that passed. But I don't think it was going to affect YouTube or any like stuff like that. But personally, this is probably one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. And I think, seriously, I mean, how fucked up the U.S. is becoming. I think I want to move to another like country, like Canada, or fuck, even Germany, or Poland, or maybe even, maybe even Mexico. I mean, because the U.S. is just fucked up. And in Europe, it is kind of hectic there, but I personally don't think it's anywhere near as bad as the U.S. It seems like the U.S. is just fucking things up. And who do I blame for everything? Well, I blame our president, Barack Obama. Okay, I think that he's the president. Okay, he's supposed to take care of all this shit. Make sure that the U.S. keeps at peace. But instead, it seems like he's provoking like war and shit. I mean, okay, like people are gonna call me crazy and shit. That's fine. You can call me crazy, but I have a vision that in the future, and I'll admit this is due to my Christianity, that Barack Obama or whoever the next president's gonna be, who I'm assuming the next president will be the Antichrist, but that's another topic. I'm not going to go into that. They're going to convince the Americans that the Constitution is provoking war rather than getting rid of it, and that they're going to say, well, we need something else. We need to stop using the Constitution and do something else. And as you guys might know, JFK was, our last good president. After that, the presidents after him started, fucking things up pretty much, or at least most of them, not all. Now, to be honest, like I said, I don't really know 100% what I'm talking about because I'm not, into politics and shit like this. But I want to make a video about this to express my opinions on what I think about the Stop Online Piracy Act. Now, you heard me say at the end of the video, it scared me at first. And what I mean by that is, I don't think this is going to pass. Why? Well, the American people are going to be pretty pissed if it does pass, let's just say. I mean, you see how many people, like I said before in the video, like, there's literally millions and billions of people using YouTube. Do you think that they're going to, I go as far as to say over half of those people watch music videos and music and stream content like that on YouTube. So, or do you think that they would want to stop that? Do you think that all those people who are watching the music videos and just music soundtracks and stuff, do you think they're actually going to want to get rid of that? No, of course not, because they came to YouTube so they could listen to it. So personally, I don't think this bill is going to pass. So I'm really not worried all that much. Now, if it does pass, I better get rid of my video game soundtracks, because even if they're NES soundtracks, the government's gonna, or YouTube or whatever, the government is gonna find some way of me getting in trouble. Oh, Conan, that soundtrack belongs to Mindscape, and they're still in business. Some of the soundtracks I posted, though, the copyright holders or the developers and the publishers are out of business. So that means that there's no real actual copyright to the music. Yeah, I mean, technically it still does belong to the developer and publisher, but if the developer and publisher are defunct, then there's, in a sense, there's no copyright to it, which means I have the freedom to post it. Like, Adventures of Dr. Franken for the NES, that was an unreleased NES game. The developer, Cygnus, or also known as Motive Time, also known as NMS Software, also known as Elite, I believe they went out of business. Now, if they didn't, then I'm wrong, I guess. But in short, though, I mean, that game wasn't even released, so I feel like I should have the freedom. And okay, that's another thing. in a way, in just a little kind of way, it does kind of violate the First Amendment as far as like freedom of speech or expression or whatever, because like you want to express that, you know, you like video game music, or you know, what's YouTube's tagline? Express yourself, well, or broadcast yourself, whatever. But still, I feel that if this bill passed, it would get rid of that shit. Now, yeah, they block, you know, YouTube and shit, but still. And I heard something like if you enter in the IP address of the site, you can still access it. I don't know. But, and if it does pass, I'm sure a lot of people are going to be moving out of the U.S. to, like, another place where YouTube is legal. You could watch it, or you can, you know, go on there or whatever. So, I think this bill is this quote-unquote act, because I really don't see it as an act, I see it as a means of torture, really, it's just bullshit, you know. Like, wow. It's just as bad as, okay, I said I support the SOPA just as much as then I couldn't find anything. Well, I just found something. I support the Stop Online Piracy Act just as much as I support daylight savings. None. At all. This shit enrages me, though. I might not sound enraged, I might not look enraged, but trust me, I am enraged. So, if this bill really is going to pass, just kill me now. And that's another thing. Like I said earlier, the U.S. is fucking shit up. You know, it's getting more fucked up by the day or whatever. Okay, like, there's been protesters who protested peacefully, and the police have shot them for just protesting peacefully. Now, if they're like trying to shoot at the cops and shit, I understand. Okay, you can use whatever. You could like fire a gunshot in the air or whatever, ward them off. But these people, there's been people who just protest peacefully. They don't even try to hurt anybody. They're just outside of a building or whatever, just, you know, trying to protest. And the cops shoot them. They fucking shoot them. And then my dad told me about, and this is probably a long time ago, I don't know when it happened exactly, but apparently there was like a guy on the street who was like using a knife to like cut wood or whatever. And then the cops shot him because he had a knife. Oh! It's a deadly weapon. And my dad was also telling me, and again, I don't know if this is true, but I know my dad believes a lot of conspiracies, but he says that they're trying to, in Congress, they're trying to pass a law that allows the military in the U.S. to shoot any American citizen for probable cause. So in other words, you know, if you're like in the military, you can just shoot whoever you want in the U.S. just because. Now, that might sound cool to some people, like, oh, I wish I could kill some. There's some people I wish would die, but seriously, like, okay, like, what if like a Marine like shoots your mom or something, or shoots like someone you really love, or you really, you know, one of your like best friends, and kills them? You'd be pretty pissed, wouldn't you? I know I would. Fuck, I mean, I would be pretty pissed, you know. So, and then I did want to do something. I'm going to look up the Protect IP Act, and like I said, this video is getting longer than I expected. Protect IP Act, or also known as PIPA. Again, I'm going to read the top description on Wikipedia, and this one's way shorter than the last one. But anyways, all right. The Protect IP Act, preventing real online threats to economic creativity and theft of intellectual property Act of 2011, United States Senate Bill S-968, is a proposed law with the stated goal of giving the U.S. government and copyright holders additional tools to curb across rogue websites dedicated to infringing our counterfeit goods, especially those registered outside the U.S. The bill was introduced on May 12, 2011. 9 days before the world ended, right? By Senator Patrick Lee, or Lay, I don't know how to say his name, DVT, at 11 initial bipartisan co-sponsors. The Congressional Budget Office estimated that implementation of the bill would cost the federal government $47 million through 2016 to cover enforcement costs and hiring of training of 22 new special agents and 26 support staff. The Senate Judiciary Committee passed the bill, but Senator Ron Wyden placed a hold on it. Oh, fuck. Well, that actually kind of does scare me. The Protect IP Act is a rewrite of the Combating Online Infringement and Counterfeits Act, COICA, which failed to pass in 2010. A similar House version of the bill, the Stop Online Piracy Act, was introduced on October 26, 2011. So, I kind of consider the SOPA and the Protect IP Act kind of the same. The government, though, the U.S. government, is just getting fucked up every day. It's like now they're trying to protect the evil rather than protect the good, and they're just trying to torture the U.S. people. Like I said, I kind of blame the president, but most of all, I do blame the government because they're the ones behind this shit. What has our world come to? Well, as far as my Christianity goes, thank God the end is near, because I don't know how long I can stand being on this planet, being tortured in the U.S. It's just, like I said, the U.S. is getting worse. If you're like from a foreign country and you even think about going to the U.S., don't. I don't care if you're going to be an illegal immigrant. Don't come to the U.S. Not necessarily because we don't want you, but I'm telling you guys that for your own good. You're not gonna like it. Trust me. Okay. Now I've heard that the illegals get U.S. citizens jobs because there's jobs that the U.S. people won't do or can't do or whatever. But still, you're gonna see that if you do come here illegally or legally, whatever. I don't care what you are, refuge, undocumented, whatever. You're gonna learn in the future. It's gonna turn to hell. It might not look so bad now, but trust me, it's gonna get a whole lot worse later. So this is my video about the SOPA Protect IP Act. Thank you guys for watching, and if you guys want your opinion, if you want to express your opinions, feel free to do so while you can in the comment section. And and if you're new to me, don't worry, I'm not an attention whore where I'm like, please rate, comment, like, subscribe, whatever. If you want to subscribe, if you want to like, favorite, whatever, that's your own choice. I'm not going to ask you to do it. So, anyways, thanks guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.